The next batch of emails from Hillary Clinton's private server about to go public, and it's going to be a big one. To Fox's Ed Henry at the State Department with the latest. Ed?
Stuart, what's interesting is there's going to be more than 7,000 pages of emails released about 9 p.m. Eastern time tonight. What's fascinating is obviously we may get some behind-the-scenes details of what was happening here at the State Department when she was Secretary of State. But beyond that, one of the reasons why it's taking so long to release this information, it was supposed to come out earlier today, is that there is more classified material in these emails. The breaking news is State Department officials confirming to Fox what we first reported this afternoon, which is that there are about 150 more emails that have classified information. The officials here insist that information is being classified after the fact, which backs up the story we've heard from Hillary Clinton, the Democratic presidential candidate, who says that the information was not marked classified when she sent it or received it, and thus she is sticking by what she said back in March at that news conference, that there was no classified information in the server. But I asked Mark Toner, the spokesman here at the State Department, a very simple question. Listen.
Can you say from that podium categorically that Secretary Clinton followed the rules and the law?
I'm just not going to answer that question. It's not our goal. It's not our function in this regard in releasing these emails.
All of this coming, of course, as we've seen Hillary Clinton continue to drop in some of the key polls over the weekend. Bloomberg Des Moines Register poll in Iowa, first caucus in the nation, of course. She's now lost 1/3 of her support among Democratic caucus goers just from May until now, and that's why Bernie Sanders is gaining ground. He's only 7 points behind her in that key state of Iowa. Stuart?
Well, Ed, if she's lost 1/3 of her support since May amongst Iowa caucus goers, would you say that donors are getting nervous?
Yeah, I think donors are getting nervous. I would think that people inside the campaign, although publicly they've got the stiff upper lip, they're going to grind this out. They always knew it wouldn't be a coronation. Deep down, they have to know this has turned out to be a much more difficult race than they ever anticipated. And that's why it's interesting that now you're hearing them talk about, well, we have more super delegates, these party leaders who can get behind the eventual nominee early on, that they are rolling out endorsements of key senators and lawmakers, again, to try and show that she's eventually going to be the nominee and maybe scare off Vice President Joe Biden, who, by the way, is still mulling whether to get in. But I would point out that back in 2007, 2008, in terms of those donors, Hillary Clinton had the money. She had the endorsements. But in the end, Barack Obama built the coalition that beat her. Right now, she's still in the lead. But Bernie Sanders, brick by brick, is building that coalition while we wait for whether Joe Biden is going to get in or not, Stuart.
Is this the last batch of emails, the 6,000 or 7,000 released tonight? There's more to come after that?
After this, they will have reached roughly 25% of her, 55,000 pages of emails she told us in March she had turned over to the State Department. That means 75% is still coming, Stuart. And that is why Hillary Clinton continues to try and turn the page on this email controversy, but with more and more emails coming in the months ahead, leading up to Iowa, New Hampshire, and the other key early states. This is an issue that doesn't appear to be going away.
Ed Henry, thanks very much indeed.
Thank you.
It's not just the Donald Jorge Ramos has a problem with. Now he says Kate's law is unfair to all illegals. Katie Pavlich here on that. And Tom Brady's fate now in a judge's hands, why Hall of Famer Fran Tarkenton says this is bad for Brady no matter what the decision.